Imagine a world where every step you take is watched, every word you speak is controlled, and every decision you make is monitored. But what if, for the first time, that world starts to crack? What if the very foundation of Gilead, the ruthless, oppressive regime, begins to shake? In The Handmaid's Tale, Season 6, something shifts, something different. And it's not just the story, it's the power itself. This season, the rules of the game have changed, and June is no longer just a pawn. She's become something much more dangerous. In the previous seasons, we watched Gilead as an unmovable force, its iron grip tightening around everyone, suffocating all hope. The power was always in the hands of a few, commanders, wives, and those who sat at the top making the rules. But in Season 6, we start to see that power is no longer as solid as it once was. The cracks are starting to show. June, once a victim, now stands on the front lines, shaping the future with each calculated move. Her journey has transformed her into a force, someone who knows Gilead's heart and can beat it at its own game. But this isn't just about June. It's about the system as a whole. The power dynamics in Gilead are changing, and it's no longer about who has the most control. It's about who can break free from it. Take, for instance, Commander Lawrence. A man who's always played the game of Gilead with careful precision, now finds himself at a crossroads. No longer able to sit idly by, he's forced into actions that could either solidify his power or shatter it forever. His internal struggle reflects the larger theme of the season. Power isn't just a thing you hold. It's something that can be lost or gained in the blink of an eye. Then there's Serena Joy. The woman who once stood behind her powerful husband now finds herself in the middle of Gilead's crumbling foundations. She's learning that the very power she relied on is slipping through her fingers. Her fight for control, her desperate attempts to stay on top, show us just how fragile this world really is. The power struggle isn't just about the elites anymore, it's about the people. June, the other handmaids, and the citizens of Gilead, everyone, is rethinking what power means. It's no longer about waiting to be saved or controlled. Now it's about rising up, even in the smallest ways. And this new shift is felt everywhere. In every quiet moment of resistance, in every choice made by characters who are no longer just victims, they're active players in the game. This season shows us that Gilead's grip on its people isn't as strong as it once was. And as we'll see, that change isn't just unsettling, it's revolutionary. The power dynamics that have defined this world for so long are shifting, and it's opening the door for something completely different, something we've never seen before in The Handmaid's Tale. June was once a woman broken by the system, her every move controlled, her identity stripped away. She was a symbol of resistance, yes, but also a victim caught in the gears of a brutal, unforgiving regime. But Season 6 introduces a new June, one who isn't just surviving anymore. She's thriving, and not just for herself. She's leading a revolution. Gone are the days when June relied solely on the help of others or worked in the shadows. This season, she steps into the light, no longer just reacting to the world around her, but actively shaping it. Her character has evolved from a desperate mother trying to escape to a strategic, cold leader who will stop at nothing to dismantle Gilead. The stakes have grown higher, and with them, so has June's resolve. But this transformation isn't easy. June isn't invincible. The burden of being a symbol of hope for so many weighs heavily on her, and we see that struggle in her every decision. She is no longer the quiet, haunted woman who once hid in the corners waiting for rescue. Instead, she is commanding the attention of those around her, drawing in allies and threatening enemies. Every step she takes is calculated. Every word she speaks holds power. What makes her even more dangerous now is the sense of purpose that has been forged through her pain. She's not just fighting for herself anymore. She's fighting for everyone who's been crushed by the weight of Gilead. This transformation is most evident in the way she handles her relationships, especially with those who were once her allies. Take her relationship with Luke, for instance. In the past, their bond was based on love and shared grief, two souls desperately trying to reconnect. But now their connection has shifted. Luke, still driven by the hope of reuniting with their daughter, often finds himself at odds with June. He wants to save people, while June is focused on tearing down the very system that keeps them all trapped. It's no longer just a love story. It's a partnership that has evolved into a battleground of ideals. This season shows us that June's transformation is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, and ideological. She's learned the hard way that Gilead doesn't just break bodies, it breaks minds, and yet she has risen above it all, hardened but determined, focused on her mission even if it means sacrificing everything she once believed in. Her journey is no longer one of escape, but of revolution. Season 6 of The Handmaid's Tale doesn't just push the boundaries of the individual characters. It also reshapes the entire resistance movement. What was once a scattered, desperate group of rebels has now evolved into a more sophisticated, calculated force. The stakes are higher, the methods more complex, and the resistance itself has shifted from mere survival to an active, deliberate fight for freedom. But the path to revolution is never simple. One of the most striking changes in this season is the emergence of new leaders. The resistance is no longer just about June, but about a growing network of individuals, each with their own goals, strategies, and motivations. Some of these new players were once pawns in Gilead's system, but they have since become key figures in the struggle against it. Their knowledge of Gilead's inner workings gives them a strategic advantage, and they're using that knowledge to wage a war on multiple fronts. Take, for example, the underground movements forming within Gilead itself. People like Commander Lawrence, who was once an enabler of the regime, have now become reluctant allies. His role has drastically shifted as he grapples with the moral implications of his past choices. His internal conflict is mirrored by others who have started to question the very system they helped build. The question isn't just how to resist, but what kind of future they want to build afterward. The methods of resistance have changed as well. It's no longer just about running or hiding. The resistance has learned how to strike at the heart of Gilead's power, hitting it where it hurts most. From subverting military operations to influencing the political elite, these acts of defiance are becoming more strategic and impactful. The rebels are no longer playing the role of underdogs. They are taking calculated risks, using Gilead's own tactics against it. But this shift also comes with a dark side. The resistance has learned to operate in shades of gray, where moral lines are often blurred. There's no longer a clear-cut right or wrong way to resist. Every decision carries weight, and every choice has consequences. There's no going back from this point, and the cost of rebellion grows higher with every action they take. What began as a fight for freedom is now becoming a fight for survival, with each move putting everything and everyone at risk. As the resistance continues to grow, so does the complexity of the battle. The lines between friend and foe become increasingly difficult to distinguish, and the threat of betrayal looms large. No one can be trusted, not even those who share the same goal. In this season, the resistance doesn't just stand against Gilead, it stands against itself, questioning its own methods, ideals, and the true cost of fighting for freedom. Season 6 of The Handmaid's Tale shifts from the tense, fast-paced drama of earlier seasons to something far more emotional and reflective. This season, it's not just the political upheaval or the violence that takes center stage. It's the raw, deeply personal emotions of the characters. The show moves beyond survival. It dives deep into the psychological toll that living under oppression has on each individual, making this season feel distinctly different from anything we've seen before. The emotional depth this season is staggering. The show, known for its brutality and despair, now takes the time to linger on moments of profound grief, trauma, and loss. Each character is forced to face their deepest fears, regrets, and desires. June, once driven solely by the need to survive and escape, now grapples with a new question. What does it mean to truly live after everything she's lost? Her emotional journey is one of acceptance, but it's not a clean, easy path. She's haunted by the ghosts of those who didn't make it, and the weight of those memories is a constant presence. Then there's Serena Joy. Season 6 strips her of the power she once had, leaving her to confront the emotional and psychological devastation of her actions. Serena's journey this season is a painful one, filled with moments of regret and self-reckoning. She is no longer the icy, ambitious woman we once saw. She's a broken figure, struggling with the aftermath of Gilead's collapse and her own choices. The emotional complexity in Serena's character is something we've never seen before, and it forces us to question whether anyone in Gilead was ever truly free from the chains of their own guilt. The tone of the show has shifted dramatically in how it handles the relationships between characters. We see softer moments, June and Luke, for instance, no longer just fighting for survival, but struggling to rebuild trust and find a sense of peace amidst the chaos. These quiet moments, while still tinged with fear, offer glimpses of hope. But those moments are fleeting. They remind us that in a world so broken, even the smallest happiness is fragile and often fleeting. The tension in Season 6 is no longer just external, it's internal. The characters are at war with themselves, struggling to make sense of their actions, their pasts, and what it means to be human in a world that has stripped them of their humanity. The emotional moments aren't just filler or downtime. They're essential to understanding the depth of the trauma these characters have endured. This emotional focus gives the show a new, haunting resonance that feels more personal and impactful than ever before. In this season, the emotional weight is impossible to ignore. It's a season about facing the consequences of living through hell, about learning how to live again after everything has been lost. And it's that emotional depth, the moments of silence between the chaos, that makes Season 6 feel so different and so hauntingly real.